we've got the West Country Festival this weekend taking place at Exeter, and my favourite track, Wincanton. The Badger Beers is on Saturday. We've also got the Grand Sefton over at Aintree. Big weekend. Following on from last week's brilliant weekend, there were 2 winners from 3 selections in the preview. The third selection was a non-runner. But we're going to have a quick look ahead at Wincanton's Badger Beers card today. We've got the Rising Stars at 223, a Grade 2 Novices Chase. This is an anti-post position we're sat in at the moment. Blue King Daru heads to market. Probably always the plan for him to run here, following his seasonal debut over fences. Only a small horse, finished second to a horse called Risk in the Ground, who's pretty solid handicapper, rated 135. He's only given an RPR of 130 for that. He's in the top of the market, 11 to 8, likely because he is one of the guaranteed runners in the field. Couple of other horses have got double entries. Cobra Queen, Double Quest, Doyen Quest has been entered today, which is Wednesday. Breaking cover only around 10 days ago, although they might take their chance. Settle Down Jill's got quite a bit to find on the ratings, rated 109 here. Double Powerful's very interested, also entered in at Aintree, but I suspect that this is going to be the place that he turns up. And if he jumps better and comes on a ton for that run, he could be in the mix here. The young Double Powerful, only a 6-year-old. The Rising Stars looks like a good little race, but I can see a very small field. So if you've got an edge and you've got an angle and you like one in this race, I suggest betting before the final declarations if you know they're going to run. They're currently good to firm at Wincanton. They're due a little bit of rain, but it's been rock hard there all summer. So how the ground will be, I'm not too sure. We've also got the Elite Hurdle on the card as well. Rubo for Paul Nicholls heads to market, odds on 8 to 11, and rightly so, really, having beaten Burdett Road at Kempton. He's not too much of a progressive horse, but he loves going right-handed. He loves quick ground. He's won this race before, and there's just not a lot to really knock him with. He's won it for the last 2 years. Paul Nicholls has won it for the last 3 years. Hard to find something against him in this particular contest. Nappers Hill would be an interesting runner, but I doubt Nappers Hill, after 728 days, is going to go up against Rubo. And if he is, he's probably going to be given a quiet ride of things. The 3:30 is the main event on the Wincanton card on Saturday, in my opinion anyway. It's the Badger Beers handicap. Cobra Queen is entered in here, as well as that 2.5 mile Rising Stars. The Doyen Chief heads to market at 5 to 1 for Alan King. Lowry's Bar's in here. Largy Poet, interestingly, is in here, only having had a couple of runs over fences as a novice, but is not technically a novice because he won a novice chase in February. Very interesting piece of planning by Paul Nicholls, if you like. If it's been intentional, it's very clever. But this looks like a really good field. Front runners do really well at Wincanton. You don't want to be held up too far off the gallop here. The Doyen Chief has been typically held up on occasions. Now, that is obviously quite a concern if they go with those tactics. Tom Cannon, I'm not a huge fan of him on hold-up horses, I must admit. But he was ridden quite prominently at Kempton when he beat the Wolf in a 6-runner affair. Not sure how they're going to line up with him. So his price is a little bit touch and go for me. I think he's quite short if he's going to be held up. And if he's going to go forward, I think he's probably got a bit to prove, even so, off a mark of 137. Hang in there, the solid Hang in there, who won last time out in a Class 2 handicap at Chepstow's Open meeting, is rated 152 as an 11-year-old. A really good horse, a really capable weight carrier in a handicap. It shows no signs of slowing down just yet. I think Lowry's Bar is interesting to me if he lines up here, but he's also got that Coral Cup entry. I think there's a few horses that it's a little bit frustrating at this time of year because they all tend to have that Coral Cup entry. At the moment, every man and their dog is going to be running in the Coral Cup at Newbury at the end of the month. But, you know, a lot of horses are having prep spins, etc. I don't know. If I'm Philip Hobbs and Johnson White, I'd be looking at this thinking, Jesus, this is a decent pot, 47 grand. I'd much rather come in and try and win this first time out. He's got a good record first time out than worry about Newbury at the end of the month. Maybe worry about that afterwards. He's already got an entry going under a penalty. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. But this is a good betting heat. Plenty of chances in here. but there's a couple of standout contenders, right? We'll see what the final decks bring. There's nothing for me really to get stuck into at Wincanton at this Ante-Post stage. The Aintree card looks pretty good. There's a good novice chase with Derry Hassan Paddy heading the market at 130. Was third in the Albert Bartlett when last seen for Lucinda Russell. And Michael Scudamore making his first start for the trainer duo. Was obviously trained just by Lucinda Russell last time. Champagne Twist in here, One Big Bang. Double powerful again, got an entry in here, but likely to go the other way to Wincanton. This is going to cut up quite significantly, I think. And I think if you do find one at a double figure price again, you've got an angle where they're going to run, I would be looking to play this sort of race before declarations. We move throughout the card, and there's some familiar names at Aintree this weekend. A good handicap chase at 205. The 240, though, is the big feature of the day. It's the Grand Sefton handicap chase over those Grand National fences. And I think there's one in here that I really fancy this weekend, so I'm going to keep that to myself and for members only. If you want to come and be a member of Daryl Carter Racing, just click the Patreon link below and join up for £26 a month. If you're thinking about getting involved, the chat rooms are all open to free members. So here's your chance to go and join, be a free member, and just speak in the chat rooms. There's lots of different tips and angles and football bets and all sorts of things going on in all of these chat rooms. There's 8 of them. You're available. There's 7 available to you. Only my exclusive one is kept for paid members at this moment. So it's a really good time to go in, take a look, and ask any questions. But the weekend is looking fire. Can't wait to get stuck into Aintree and Wincanton, as well as Exeter on Friday. The Howden Gold Cup is the feature at Exeter on Friday, and I'm really looking forward to a horse in that particular race. But until next time, everybody, this has been your midweek update. Best of luck, be lucky, take care, and I'll see you on the Thursday weekend preview show out Thursday at around 4:30 p.m. Be lucky.